Hi, Torre, the knowledge guru here at Motion Board Shop to talk to you about bushings. This right here is a bushing as well as all of these. It's the most cost-effective way to change the feel of your setup. Bushings are made out of a polyurethane. The more connections that the polyurethane chemical structure has, the more rebound the bushing has. So, there are a total of 4 bushings that you will need to customize your trucks. You will need one board side, one roadside, or top is also known as roadside, or bottom bushing is known as board side. This bushing location determines how your truck will turn and feel. There are many different hardnesses, which is measured in a durometer scale. The lower the number, the softer the bushing. The higher the number, the harder the bushing. Bushing hardness, I just went over that. Bushing height allows for a greater range of motion in the hanger. So if you're running a Ronin truck, they use a tall barrel, allowing for more hanger movement than, say, your standard barrel, such as on a caliber. Next thing you're going to want to know is the bushing diameter and how that affects the truck's feel. The wider the bushing is, the more force it takes to get a certain amount of lean out of the bushing. So there are many different types of bushings, some of the most popular being a cone, a barrel, a free ride or stepped cone, an limb, or such as in the blood orange, a wedge. So a cone will need less force and give you maximum lean, but it won't provide you a really stable feel. It'll like to turn a lot, and that's why you see it a lot in much higher degree trucks like a 50-degree Cal or a 50-degree Paris. While a barrel will take a little bit more force to get the same amount of lean that you do in a cone. Same thing kind of goes for a step cone. It just needs a little bit more force than your barrel to kind of get the same lean or turn out of it. While an limb is going to be your most kind of stable design. Because it's a lot thicker and wider, you're going to need a little bit more force to get the bushing to compress. Next, we're going to talk about washers. So, when bushings are compressed, they like to deform before they compress. Oh geez, that makes no sense. Okay, bushings like to deform before they compress, and that's where washers come into play. A flat washer is going to stop your parallel deformation with the kingpin, while you will still allow for perpendicular deformation. With a cupped washer, you kind of get the benefits of both. You stop the perpendicular deformation as well as the perpendicular. This gives you a much more center point and feels a lot more stable while you're riding. Typically, you run a harder bushing board side and a softer bushing road side. This is to prevent the deformation of the rider's weight on the bottom bushing or board side bushing. While trucks like Ronins with the support pin eliminate that, normal trucks, a lot of people like to run the conventional harder bushing board side, softer road side. However, longboarding is a lot of personal preference, and you can always switch it up. If you do switch it up, it's just going to give you it'll take less force to get the initial turn, while the harder roadside bushing will allow for a little bit better return to center. So you'll get a little bit more of a flowy start to your turn, finished off by a nice return to center because of the harder bushing. So, based off that, my setup here, I do mostly downhill and free ride. So I am running a step cone or free ride bushing board side paired with an 85A barrel roadside. This gives me a nice stable center point because of the large diameter sitting next to the bushing seat, while giving me a not so twitchy feel with the softer bushing roadside. This allows for nice smooth bushing compression, allowing me to feel really stable and be able to downhill as well as free ride on this single bushing setup. So in the end, to figure out the bushing setup for your board, it may require some tinkering. You may want to try cones, barrels, step cones, and eliminators. It kind of depends on what kind of style riding you're going to be doing, as well as your weight. To help you out with that decision a little bit, we have our bushing selector on Motion Board Shop. This will provide you a general idea of what kind of disciplines and how you want to set up your bushing. However, there are lots of variables that kind of go into this, so that's where that personal preference comes into play. Don't discriminate. Try all shapes and sizes. You may find out you like something that you didn't think you would like before. Oh my gosh. Peace. Again, my name is Torre. This was a review of bushings and how different shapes and styles will affect your ride. You guys stay classy. We have free shipping as well as a price match guarantee. Feel free to give us a call at 206-372-5268 and we'll be glad to help you out with any bushing ideas or kind of figuring out what best fits your riding style. Have a great day and remember to skate safe. Pow!